Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's John with Addicted to Fishing. This video today we're going to cover chatterbaits. We're going to cover a few different types, talk about what I'm going to be doing making chatterbaits going forward, type of rod, reel, line selection, how I like to fish them, when I like to fish them, cover some of the components, some of the trailers. Some of the trailers I'll show you, some of them we'll just talk about. But let's dive right on into chatterbaits. Well, first and foremost, everybody knows the Z-Man chatterbait. And I'm going to talk about what I think is the difference between them, or what I've noticed the difference between them. But let's get started here. The original chatterbait. It's a cheap, classic chatterbait. You guys are all familiar with the regular chatterbait. It's got the hole in skirt, I think is what they call it. Got the lead keeper on it. Not the best keeper, but this is the original chatterbait. Around here, they're about $5 a piece. I'm not too fond of the connection that's on them. I've thought about cutting those off and putting a snap on them myself. But anyway, that's the original chatterbait. Not the best of components, but it does catch fish. I think it's on a different frequency than some of the other ones, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about with them. Up next from that, we'll dive right into the same line things that I have fished. Of course, the Jackhammer. Depending if you find these online or in a store, sometimes you can find guys sell them in bulk. You can get them for 10 or 12 bucks a piece. Than that, they're $17 to $22 a piece. It does have the dual lock snap on it that I like. A lot heavier duty hook, hand tied skirt. What I love about it is that weed guard. It's got that double wire weed guard. Totally different frequency than the original chatterbait. Both of them catch fish. Unless you're getting a JDM market, they're all going to be pretty much a lead head. You can get tungsten if you're you can find some of them around here that are tungsten, but most of that you'll have to get in a JDM market. Up next, one that I haven't fished yet, I brought them this winter, is the cross-eye. It adds in a weed guard to help it become a little more weedless. This one has kind of a unique trailer keeper, both the lead and a wire keeper. It's still got the dual lock snap, and if you notice on all three of these, it's got the patented Z-Man. I don't know if it's patented, but it's got the curved blade on it. All three of those, well, I won't say all three. I have not caught fish on the cross-eyed yet because I haven't tried them. But they were on clearance at, I think, Dick's for about $4 a pop. I really like that bluegill color to it. I don't know if I'm going to like the weed guard or not. It does seem pretty rigid. I'm not sure how fond I'm going to be of that, just because I don't like that real stiff weed guard. So I don't know how the frequency is on that compared to the other ones. Of course, I'm not doing underwater frequency test or anything like that. It's just some information that I've read out there or listened to. Apparently, all three of those have different frequencies. A couple of them that I don't have from Z-Man is the Freestyle and the Elite, and I might be missing one or two other ones. I know the Stealth Blade and some of the other new ones. I just haven't dove into those yet. Don't know if I will now that I'll be making my own. Next one up is I'm guessing it's going to be kind of along the lines of what I'm making. Different blade than what I'll have, but this is a custom that I bought from, or got from an angler. Paid for shipping and he sent them to me. This one's got that Z-Man razor shad on the back. It's got a nice hook, has a lead head, does not have the curved blade. It does have the snap on it. Here is the Jackhammer that's been thoroughly put through the ringer. It's got the Yamamoto Zako on the back, in the black and blue color. This one's done some serious damage. The Zako is one of the trailers that I like, but we'll get into that a little bit later. One that I haven't shared a lot of information about or talked about a lot, and I don't hear a lot about, but it catches fish. It's also a Z-Man. Has that same original chatterbait connection to it. Is the what I'm calling the chatter hair jig. I don't know exactly what Z-Man called that. But when a hair jig bites on, you want to kind of change it up a little bit. This guy does fantastic. It is a nice alternative. So that's pretty much the ones I fish day in and day out are the Z-Man. Some of the things that I look for in a chatterbait, and it's been proven, it's known. When you cast out that Z-Man, you start cranking it, that blade starts going right away. The difference is, it looks like the cross-eye's got a premium hook in it. It does have the snap, which I like. It has a hand-tied skirt. These two are probably my go-tos. Well, this one will be added into the mix. This is my go-to right now. But I do throw the original a lot, and the original has caught a lot of fish. I've done some serious damage on that. I've done some serious damage fishing behind guys that are throwing the Jackhammer. I think it has a total different frequency than a Jackhammer. I'm almost thoroughly convinced that's what it is. That's what I've heard. That's what I've seen in different videos. I don't know if the guys have tested that and have scientific evidence to prove that there's a different frequency that blade or that bait puts off. But I know in a lot of places that are heavily pressured here where I fish, a lot of guys are throwing that Jackhammer, and I come right behind them with the original, and I come out with this custom, and this guy's caught a lot of fish too. So I think it's a little something different. In the fall, I was wrecking them on the hair. I've got that a few different colors. I bought these up when Dick's was closing them out. A lot of these chatterbaits I bought at Dick's on the closeout. So that's pretty much all of that. The only thing I have currently in stock for myself to make my chatterbaits, when I get my mold, I'm waiting on that mold. I've got my the actual spinnerbait hook that I'm wanting is on back order till July, and then my my underspin mold is on back order. But I did find this blade. I'll try to find a link and drop that link for this blade. I got 50 of these blades. It's got the nice curve to it. They are just stainless. You know, I didn't have them painted black or anything. It was, I don't even remember what the cost difference was in them. This was under $10 for 50 of them. I like that. I believe the same company that I got the bigger ones for, I was able to get some micro ones. I've had these for a little bit. I've run these on a ball head or a small swim bait head. Usually that VMC, I think it's the VMC Boxer swim bait head, for a little finesse approach to it. That little blade works really, really well. Again, I'm hoping to be able to, and I think this is the same head. I think that's that poison head or poison tail head. I'm hoping to be able to slightly mod the mold so that I can get a wire keeper on it versus a lead keeper. Let me see if I pull this Razor Shad off of here. I think it has nothing more than the lead keeper on it. Try not to damage the skirt. Skirt was kind of pinned up inside that. Yeah. It's got a hand-tied skirt, but it's nothing more than a lead keeper. Got a nice hook. I think the guy said he used the VMC hook. Nice snap. The blade he gets custom built from somebody. I wish the blade had the bend in it. But, again, I think it's kind of thrown off a different frequency without that bend. Again, I have no scientific studies on that. I just know that the three of them, the custom, the original chatterbait, and a jackhammer have all put fish on the bank for me. Let's dig into some trailers. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that are going through different trailers, so I'm not gonna try to convince you one's better than the other. I think it's all a personal preference. One of the ones I like, it holds up really well, is that Z-Man Razor Shad. I keep a couple different colors of that. Another one that works really well, it's kind of the fluke style, is the Streak. Both of those are great trailers. We'll jump over to Yamamoto. The old Zacco. This is the original Zacco. This happens to be the chartreuse shad lime or shad lemon or shad laminate, whatever. It's that chartreuse and shad color. That one works. I use the white a lot. They call it Sight Flash. I showed that in a different video. Here it is. This Sight Flash Yamamoto. Instead of the shad profile, this one's got the paddle tail to it. I like this one. Kind of have to be careful how you rig it. Usually you flip that boot tail upside down. And then another couple that I do like, and I just happen to grab these. I got these on clearance too. I'm not going to take them out. Everybody knows what they are. The Rage Tail Structure Bug. The Rage Crawl. And then I use the Space Monkey too. Kind of giving you a different profile, different ways to rig it up. And then you can always use a regular Zoom Super Fluke. One of the local Ohio guys makes his own variation of the Zacco. Jerry Skates is his name. He makes skater baits. You can find him at skaterbaits.com. No, he does not send me free baits to plug his name. I plugged his name, plugged his bait because I like him. This time of the year when I'm using that fire crawl, that's a dynamite looking trailer. Some of these kind of got bent on me. We're in the heat of the car and I gotta straighten them back out. No worries, can be done. There's quite a few different selections out there for trailers. You know, I experiment and play with different types of trailers all day long with these guys. Find a trailer that works for you, one that you like. You know, try to match the hatch, guys. This is what we're trying to do. As far as rod and reel, I picked these up at Walmart when they clearanced out. And I really needed a good crankbait rod. 7 foot, medium fast. Sorry guys, bless me. This is the Skeet Reese crankbait rod. Yep, I got a little square bill tied on there right now. That's one of the old Bantam Corrados. And then I've got straight 15-pound mono on there. And I know there's been argument back and forth. What's the right rod, the right line? You know, do you fish it on fluorocarbon? You know, you don't use a crankbait rod. You need something stiffer. You know, I've played around with rods with that chatterbait for the past several years. Chatterbait's nothing new. But in my opinion, what I've seen for the best hookup to land ratio has been on that crankbait rod and straight mono. I like that give that mono has. I also like that tip action that the crankbait rod adds. It's a great way to keep those fish pinned and get them on the bank. Get them in a boat if you're fishing out on a boat. I just like the way that rod loads. It loads it up real nice. Another thing that I've noticed is sometimes when them bass are coming up and they're coming up behind that chatterbait, and they're kind of just barely getting at the back end of it and I took the trailer off, but they're eating that trailer. I think it's because I've got one rigged up with a trailer. This will better explain it. So they're either coming at the head to eat the blade, because that's what they're picking up to get that vibration, or they're picking up the trailer. Okay? One or the other. So I think sometimes, and this trailer's kind of beat up because it's caught a bunch of fish, they're coming up behind and are getting here. And I think that that stiffer rod, when they're barely getting it, that stiffer rod's pulling that hook out of their mouth. And I think that stretch that the mono has, that stretch that that flexibility that crankbait rod gives you, I think you keep from pulling it out of that fish's mouth. And that just isn't my opinion. That's just what I've seen. I've fished in some fairly clear water, and I've watched the bass come up behind it, and with that mono and that flimsier rod, it seems to get them. It hooks them. I'm not missing them. I used a crankbait rod and put a reel on it, had braid through it. That braid has no give. Same thing. I think the braid was just without that give, it was pulling right out of those fish's mouth. And I'm talking, I'd literally thrown along the bank, and I could watch these bass come up to eat it, and seeing them eat it from behind, dead hitting that, coming up after that. Here's the trailer, coming up behind it and getting the trailer, and they're missing it. So that's what's worked for me. I've thrown them on a spinnerbait rod. I've thrown them on, a few different rods. I've thrown them on fluoro, braid, and mono. And my preference would be mono on a crankbait rod. I've said that in a previous video. I went into some depth and detail on it then. And that's just how I like it. I think braid to mono would work. If you wanted to run straight braid, or you're running straight braid, you could quickly tie on, an 18-inch mono leader, and I think you'd be in business with it that way. But anyway, that's my little take on chatterbaits. It's your choice. If you're going to continue to throw the jackhammer, and only the jackhammer, because you believe the jackhammer is the only way that you're going to catch them, that's fine. If you believe the Yamamoto Zaco is the only trailer, that's fine. Boottail paddletail swim baits work really, really well. the original $5 chatterbait works really well. Like I said, I believe I'm going to end up taking this style connection off and put a dual lock snap on there. And I want to see how that does. I want to see if that changes anything. But you want to get into chatterbait fishing, you don't want to break the bank. That right there, $4.98. I believe is what you can buy them at the local Walmart, Dick's, probably Academy, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, you name it. But I know everybody's got a Walmart. You can buy this dude at Walmart. Get that. I don't have a real high-end expensive rod. That rod is, I think, $149 new. Old school Bantam Corrado reel. Man, you got a rod and reel, a crankbait rod and reel, and $5 for that. And if you just want to go easy peasy, $7 maybe, $8. Yamamoto Zaco, you pair that up, that's gonna catch fish. Want something a little more durable? Get to that razor shad. That razor shad might cost $1 or $2 more, but hey man, This razor shad, it's beat up, bent, crooked, the whole 9 yards. I've probably caught 30, 40 fish on that razor shad, and you really can't tell that razor shad, it's that last tech material. This one, they don't stretch nearly as much as the little TRD, but they hold up. They're great little baits. You want to jump in, dive down the rabbit hole a little further, just a little further. Steps up to a cross eye. It's kind of a middle ground between the original and a jackhammer. You want to go all in, get the jackhammer, the freestyle. I think that's the one with the swing head. That one works really, really well. I don't own any, but a friend of mine has those. I threw them. I like it. He also had a custom and maybe an elite. I think there was 3 different ones that he had. I threw whatever the 3 that he had. I threw all 3 of them and liked all 3 of them. I think just the vibration I feel through the line. I think they all have a slight. Again, this is going back to that frequency thing. I think they all have a different frequency. But, you don't have to break the bank. Color selection for me, I try to keep it simple. I like that whites. Can't go wrong with that. I like that chartreuse and some of that sort of muddy water. Then I get into, and of course these are into crawl type baits, but that rage is definitely in that green pumpkin. And they call that one summer crawl. And this is black and blue flake. If you got that muddy to stained water, green pumpkin, a watermelon, that summer crawl, and that white or that silver. That's pretty much my go-to colors on that. Same thing with the lures itself. I've got my let me move some of these baits out of the way real quick here, and I'll show you. I've got the a chatterbait box right here, and you can see fire crawl, whites, a couple bluegill colors, some chartreuse, black and blue. You can see the hair jig colors in there. I got black and blue hair jig. I got a green, white. That's pretty much it. I have some browns mixed in. I don't need 53,000 colors of trailers and jigs. I try to keep it simple. Same thing when I do spinnerbaits. And that's it's something I forgot. Where do we fish at? What time of the year? I throw the chatterbait all year long. You can throw it out, burn it, throw it out, truck of wine. Throw it out, you can bounce it, hopping it off the bottom. Throw it out, let it fall to the bottom, hop it up, let it go down. Up, down. When I'm hopping it, I think most of my bites come on that flutter down. I have thrown out, and as I'm lifting up, felt he's picked it up either on the fall, or he's come down to the bottom and sucked it up, and I've tried to lift up, and I felt the weight, and boom, there he was. You can slow roll them. You're going to fish them around wood, cover, rock, you name it. I throw it everywhere. It runs really good through the grass. Throwing it pretty much anywhere you want to spinnerbait. You're trying to get that reaction bite. This time of the year is starting to shine for the chatterbait. Same thing with the spinnerbait. Right now is that bite. But anyway, guys, that's all I got on chatterbaits. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to start making our own as soon as the supplies come in. But anyway, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when I'm uploading new videos. I'm trying to stay on track of this year. I know I kind of started late in the year, but I am in a garage. That's my tackle room. It's where I do all my magic. I was out here painting some clear coat over some of those jigs that I poured, or swim bait heads that I poured. I don't have a heater. I don't have nothing out here, so I kind of waited till I got to the right temps so I can get out here and start making some videos. And I'm going to try to keep rolling them all year for you. Along lines of this, just some little simple tips and techniques and things like that. We'll also do some gear reviews. I've got some stuff that's coming in from Jan's Netcraft. that I'm going to be doing for pouring jigs and mold, or using my molds and stuff like that. I'll try to put some of that in there. I'm going to try to start leaving some links in the video description. I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. Z-Man does not pay me to promote their chatterbait. Not at all. Why do I talk about that specific chatterbait? Because it works. The guy that makes these, he sent them to me with just shipping cost. Did not pay me, did not send me these to talk about them and promote his lure. I don't even remember the guy's name that I bought these from. No idea. Again, I didn't really buy it per se. I paid for shipping. But I'm hoping to be able to make this with that keeper in it. Stay tuned with that. If I got to do some mill work on that, I'll be glad to show you how I did it to get that style keeper in there. I'm going to try to customize some stuff myself this year. We're going to try to get in there. Again, this is my take on fishing, what works for me, how it works for me. You know, not many people are talking about that, dude. But I talked about that, dude. There's a time and a place for that. If you're throwing a hair jig, you guys up north smallmouth fishing, Lake Erie, all the Great Lakes, any of the smallmouth fisheries, Lake St. Clair, you throwing the hair jig, you need to throw the hair chatter. I'm telling you guys, that's a dynamite little bait. And I do not put a trailer at all on this. I throw it as is, just as you would a hair jig. I throw it out and you know, most of the time I'll hold my rod a little high if I'm trying to come up over cover. That's a dynamite killer little bait. Smallmouth just absolutely crushed that. We're not known for a lot of smallmouth or big smallmouth here in Ohio. We have some, but we're not like Lake Sinclair. We're not Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. You guys up there, that bait right there should be in your arsenal. You should be throwing it. You'll be smashing them on that. Again, nobody else talks about what I'm deeming the hair chatter. I don't even know if Z-Man makes that anymore. I've got a few. I bought them all. I think I gave $2 a piece for these at Dick's when I clearanced them out. Then I had 10 more. I'd have bought them all for that price. As I just knew, because I've thrown that hair jig. I know how that hair jig works. I knew that was going to do it, and this guy has wrecked some fish. So anyway, guys, that's it for today. Sorry I got a little winded. Stay tuned. More stuff's coming. Again, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Drop in some comments. Let me know what you want me to review. Let me know what you want to talk about. You know, we're fishing on a budget here. We're trying to save money, but catch fish. Not just big fish, but quantities of fish. And a chatterbait's a good way to catch numbers and big fish. Anyway, thanks, guys. Have a good one.